For today's meter demonstration, we're going to examine two different versions of the Ferranti Electric Limited of Toronto, Ontario, Canada type FRA watt-hour meter. The meter on the left, which will go in a little closer so you can see it better. We'll note that the meter is running because I have it connected to my standard 1300 watt incandescent lamp load. Now, this particular FRA has what is known as a cyclometer register rather than a pointer. This particular meter is within about 1/10 of a kilowatt hour of changing the right hand digit from a 0 to a 1. Now, this particular unit is rated at 10 amps, 115 volts, and 60 cycles. This constant is 1.2, and it is a 2-wire version meter. The serial number is 7,507,046. Now, the other meter that I have, which I will show in a few minutes as soon as this particular one changes from a 0 to a 1, I will focus on the other unit, which is a pointer type register, the standard type that you were accustomed to seeing before they started converting to 100% electronic digital meters. Just waiting for this particular meter to change from a 0 to a 1 on the right hand side. As soon as that happens, we'll examine the other one. These particular meters are also interesting in the fact that they have a Canadian Electrical Standards Association emblem on the faceplate. Previous to these meters, very few had the CESA label, which is a forerunner of CSA, the Canadian Standards Association. There, we just changed from a 0 to a 1. With that, we will move over to the meter on the right, which we have right here, and moving in a little closer, you will notice the standard pointer type registers. Now, this particular meter is a Ferranti Electric of Toronto, Ontario, Canada type FRA rated at 50 amps, 230 volts, and 60 cycles. Now, one variation in this meter is that it's rated at 50 amps, I guess I've already mentioned that, KH of 12. Now, the KH of 12, as you can maybe notice, the disc is turning at a lot slower rate of revolutions than the meter on the right. Now, this particular meter is serial number 7,507,277. Now, that only leaves a serial number difference of 131 units. The first meter of a cyclometer register came out of the province of Ontario, while this particular meter that we're watching at the present time came from New Brunswick, where I am located. Now, this meter on the right is actually a free wire, and ordinarily you would have be measuring two sides of the phase, but in this instance, where I'm only running a single phase load, I have the two meters connected in series with the same 1300 watt, incandescent lamp load. Anyway, that's about all that we can say at the present time. One detail that I almost missed. These were the last of the Ferranti meters that were made to just hang on a nail or a screw or whatever on the wall, and had four wires connected to the bottom rather than having any kind of a box. Now, in late 1934, they standardized onto meters that had the universal base. No longer were they made just four wires. You could still use the four wires on the bottom if you were replacing one of these older meters. But the later version of these things after 1934, as I previously mentioned, these are of type FR. Well, in late 1934, after standardization, they still continued to make this sort of version of the meter, use the exact same internal parts, but they were made to fit on a different base, which was referred to as the A base, which was a much more convenient and maintained a better security closure, in that you could seal the box and there was no access to the wires feeding the thing. On these older meters, for the dishonest people that were around, you could run a clip lead from the left-hand terminal, the right-hand terminal of the porcelain cutout with the two fuses and the disconnect switch, and you could run that to the left-hand terminal of the meter and run from that over across to the right-hand terminal of the meter, and you would either slow the thing down or stop it completely, depending on the sensitivity of the meter, in other words, the kH. Anyway, I'm sure there was lots of that going on, because I spent my working life as an electrical contractor, and I used to find all kinds of these things where the wires came in from the front of the building, usually in the gable end, went on porcelain knobs over across the roof rafters in the attic, and then down over, probably over the back door somewhere. Sometimes they were located in cupboards in the top of the cupboard. Anyway, I've encountered these where I found most of the upstairs in the house never did go through the meter, but just simply hooked onto the two wires coming across the attic, and absolutely no fusing or of any kind other than on the primary of the transformer. Anyway, with that, we will conclude the examination and the demonstration of the Ferranti type FR. I am not going to examine the FRA at this time, as it's post 1934, and I still have lots and lots of meters of different manufacturers and ratings and so on, but I have not previously done a video on, and we are going to concentrate on the pre-1934 ones at this present time. And with that, we'll conclude the video, and thank you very much for watching.